Hello, and welcome back to Vlogcast. Today, joining us is my friend Michael Young.
Hey, guys.
What do you want to go by for this episode? Michael? Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
So today, joining us, we got my friend Michael. We met in high school. It's called The Heights in Potomac, Maryland. And fortunately for us, there was no entertainment focus at the school. But unfortunately for The Heights, we have both found a career in the entertainment industry. Now we've reconnected, 10 years later?
Yeah, at least 10 years.
Almost 11 now. We've reconnected based on the fact that we both have a large interest in the entertainment industry. And I just want to first mention that I'm impressed that you've been able to go from The Heights to an industry-related career because it's not that easy in this area.
No, it's not easy at all.
So real quick, I just want to hear about your time between high school and college that helps you find a drive to pave your own path.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always been an individual who kind of went off and did what everybody was not really expecting to be done. So in college, I started the Outdoors Club when I was a freshman and grew from 9 members to 575 members. I took over the ski club and took it from taking 8 kids on a trip to taking 160 kids on trips all throughout from when I was a sophomore until I was a senior. And then it was also in college that I started my very first company, which was called Versatire, and we made men's and women's professional wear out of performance fabrics for people who bike to work.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like this kind of artistic, like I get to create something and I get to design something and I get to actually go and manufacture something, but also at the same time I get to like run a business and do all the sales aspects and all that kind of like the hard work and growing it.
Right.
But I realized that, it was never going to take off. It was never going to be successful, and all I was going to do was bury myself under a pile of debt. And so I took this company to my cousin, who is the CEO of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's line, The Row. And I was like, hey, you run a clothing company. Can you help me run this business? And he's like, yeah, you're really going to bury yourself right now. You should just stop what you're doing. But you should come work for me. And so I joined him at a brand incubator out in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And basically, we're talking working with some of the most creative people in the world. Like, these individuals had some of the number one apparel lines that were at the forefront of either high-end design or high-end contemporary design. And working for them was like opened my eyes, coming from this background of like, oh, you should be a lawyer, you should be a doctor at the Heights, and like you need to do all of these things that are not artistic at all and don't really challenge your creative side, and kind of pushed me into a realm of I get to do all that same kind of work, the hard like Excel spreadsheets, building stuff, programming, software engineering, but also I get to combine it with this cool, creative, like surrounded by these really weird people who all have these awesome tattoos and they are just amazing salt of the earth kind of people into one single environment. And so then I worked there for 2 years, and then I moved up to the North Face, and I worked at the North Face on their yoga brand, Lucy Activewear.
Wow.
And while I was there at the North Face was awesome because their work-life balance is perfect.
That's what I've heard.
It's amazing.
I've heard a lot of good things about North Face.
They don't work on Fridays.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's not even a joke. In ski season, you don't work on Fridays. So you work like from Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
And then you're off on Friday. And so on Thursday night, you drive up into the mountains and you stay at a ski lease that you rented with like 10 other or 15 other friends.
Okay.
Right. And so you're there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. You drive back to work Monday morning. And it was there where I was always the kid who had a camera. And I really loved to film. Like I got into amateur filmmaking. It was right when Instagram had just kind of like started to peak in terms of like, oh, you all of a sudden had 25 followers. Now you start to have like 1,000 followers and 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000. It was getting really big. And so we had a couple North Face athletes who worked at North Face headquarters, but also did their athletic stuff on weekends or whenever they went and traveled and did it.
Okay.
And so I was with them, and we're out there filming. It's whiteout conditions. You can't see anything in front of you.
Oh, man.
And we're out there, and I've got this massive amount of gear on my back, and I'm just slugging away. Like, I've got this 40-pound gimbal. I've got an A7S Mark II in it, a 35mm lens, and I'm chasing after these guys in moguls. And it just, at the end of the day, I was just absolutely exhausted. I carried this 80-pound pack, and I was like, great, I love filmmaking, but also at the same time, like, I didn't, like, I'm getting exhausted from being the only person doing this, and I'm making like no money. Like they're literally not paying me at all for this, and I'm just doing it because I thought it was fun.
Right.
And now I'm just like, after doing this for 15 weekends in a row, I'm just kind of pissed off.
Yeah, it's a job they're not getting paid for.
Exactly. It was ridiculous. And so I made all these awesome videos, and I just realized driving back from one of the mountains one day, I was like, how the fuck is there not an app for this? How the hell is there not an app that I could like show people, like, if you want me to come and do this, like, this is what it's going to cost, and feel free to make changes for that. So this cool pathway where it started with working with a whole bunch of creatives and working with a whole bunch of filmmakers and a whole bunch of photographers at this apparel incubator, and growing these brands that were pushing the boundaries of their craft with being really good at computers, software engineering, and Excel. So I looked at the world as a series of rows and columns, and like how the world, like the North Face, right? Everything you buy at the North Face ends up in an Excel spreadsheet in a series of rows and columns, regardless of whatever it is. And so I thought to myself, like, how can I take this creative side of the production and film and merge it with this analytical side with the Excel spreadsheets and the rows and columns, and somehow be the first company and the first idea that crosses those two together, because they don't cross very well at all, because the creatives don't want to think like that. They want to think free and be able to do what they want and do it on their terms. And the analytic people and the people who are doing the numbers don't understand, how did these guys not understand this?
Yeah.
And so I went out and just built this platform where we take in 14,000 data points from a filmmaker and custom build these algorithms that allow filmmakers to instantaneously price 145,000 project types by 22 million combinations and permutations. For example, if they change the deliverables, the price changes.
Okay.
And everything is commiserate in that way.
Wow.
And so we started building it about 4 years ago. We finished the first version of it probably 2.5, 3 years ago, iterated it again, finished the second, third, and fourth versions of it 2 years ago. And then we finished the 5th version in October, and we're now on our 6th version of the app.
Wow. So I want to back you up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you took your skill set and experience and lifestyle from the North Face, the Excel sheets and working hard and just like the mindset of being a productive office employee, and also your passion for going out and filming the same stuff you were doing with North Face, but it wasn't exactly your job.
Not at all.
And you realized that if you were interested in both the mathematics and the creative side, that there aren't many people like that, and you were wondering, why isn't there anything out there that makes it easier for me to do this?
Yeah, who could merge these two things together?
And if there's no one else doing it, if it's not there and you have the idea, why not do it?
Why not just figure it out?
Yeah.
And literally it was one of those things, we're just going to, like, when I first started this thing, I had no idea how to program a website. I knew basic coding. I could build a website that was like info and about me, but I had no idea how to like build calculations, build a calendar tool, all that kind of stuff. And what we did was we went out and we talked to about probably 2,000 filmmakers. Wow. And we said, like, hey guys, tell us like your biggest problems. Like, why is this an issue for you? Like, what pisses you off about your clients? Like, how can we solve these problems for you? And there are probably 10,000 pages of documentation.
Wow.
This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to solve this. This is the calculation that goes into it that we went out and did, which like was not creative at all.
Right.
It sucked. But
that seems like research.
Totally.
Researching it is work, and that's usually what people don't want to do.
And the creative part that played into it, though, was once we actually got the information and we were able to solve it and be like, okay, so we got this information from this group of people. And we were like, oh, if we do this, this, and this, these are the 5 ways that we could solve this problem. Let's give them 2 of them and let them choose their own option and like figure it out themselves, but give them both ways that they could do it so that it's customizable to them and their individual needs and how they want to solve the problem. And that was the creative piece, which was very cool.
Okay. And what is it that you call, how did you come up with the name? What do you call it?
So it's called Lenzera.
Okay.
Lenzera. Yes, I know it sounds like a drug. I've heard it many, many times before. The company was originally Lenze, Lenze, Lenze Inc. And when we went to trademarks, there's a single marketing company down in Atlanta, Georgia, that has a trademark on Lenze Inc. for the category that we were going for. And we ended up having to add something to the end to differentiate ourselves from them.
I like that. So the Lenzera is just a differentiator between other people that are looking for the same type of clientele.
Yeah, correct. Like we just we look at it as the era of lenses, right? We're
definitely.
entering this era where it's like everybody now needs content.
Yeah.
How can we get them that content as efficiently as possible?
That's awesome. And I love the fact that you're not only fixing a problem you found, but a problem that you've crowdsourced.
Absolutely.
You went out and asked other people that you would be working for, I guess, or representing, and you asked them, we're going to do something that can fix a problem you don't even know you have. Mm-hmm. And what problems do you know you have, so we can add them to the problems you don't even know you have.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot. And another thing that I like that I want you to explain is the millions, I shouldn't say millions, let's be realistic, all the options that you give people. If you are out there and you're thinking, man, I want to shoot a film and I do not care how it comes out, I just want to shoot it and make it, you have that option.
Absolutely.
And if someone says, you know what, I want to shoot a film, but I know everything I want and I know all the information about it, you also have that option.
Absolutely. It's everything from I'm the small mom and pop shop, I have no idea where the hell to even start this process, all the way to I'm an ad agency, I've done this 20, 30 times in a year, like I really know the process and I've got it down. We have a pathway for that and we've got an option for everybody.
Yeah, that's so cool. I like all the different options and how it's all automated and simple. It feels like a dating website for like the production life.
Yeah, and that was what we were going for. And the way that we call it is like Lenzera, where filmmakers get paid from the instant pricing and bookings and getting information so that your customer is educated and they're informed and their expectations are set realistically, all the way to delivery tools and invoicing tools that transfer money to you instantaneously. When this project is done, yeah, you can get the content, but you got to pay first.
Yeah.
Here's the watermarked version until you go ahead and send that through. Mm-hmm. And so it's really been amazing because like when we first started this thing, we always knew that we wanted the instant pricing piece to be in there and work as effectively as we could get that to work. And there's a lot of mechanisms that get it to actually be right. My motivation for starting Lenzera in the beginning was like I had a problem and I wanted to get paid. Right?
Definitely.
I wanted to get paid and I wanted people to value my work.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it evolved too, and I got really into the sales process of like, okay, so how are these other larger production companies getting paid? What are they actually doing to make serious money? Mm-hmm. We're talking like the guys who are producing the Audi commercials for $1 million, the guys who are producing Coca-Cola commercials for $250,000. Like that budget and that customer exists out there. So what are they doing that we're not doing in this whole process? And it comes down, a lot of things come down to like connections and time and history, but also a lot of the pieces is just simply like having the right sales process. And what was really cool for us was while we built this instantaneous booking system, it wasn't 100% what people actually fully needed. Great. It gave clients a whole bunch of information, right? Like, oh, this is what it costs if I want to even do this just to get started. Like, this is what the price range looks like. Okay, awesome, great. But they still needed all those good feels. So then on top of the actual instantaneous booking system, we layered in all these tools. Instantaneous live human sales support. Anybody has a question right when they're trying to book or right when they're trying to get information, we're there for you. So if you're on set or you don't even have like an instant chat tool on your website, we're literally there for you answering all of their questions within a sales process with customer service reps and sales reps who are trained to do one thing, close the deal.
Wow.
Move them along that pathway so they get all the good feels and like, okay, I'm going to put my credit card in today, get the deposit paid, get paid before you shoot, and get editing paid, after the project is done. We've got this instantaneous booking system. Now we've got this live human sales support in the form of live chat, over the phone, over email, answering questions, and doing it in a way that's like driving sales forward. And then the other piece is like sometimes clients aren't going to book online, right? Yeah. Most online websites, they get a 1% conversion rate. That's just typical. But they're going to want to have that conversation offline. You've given them a ton of consumer confidence and they're feeling really good about like, I got to play around and change up deliverables and do things my way. So now that I can kind of control this conversation a little bit, I feel I've got a lot of confidence in people who are using this tool because I controlled the conversation. I got exactly what I needed in terms of deliverables and price, and I got all the good feels. Now you go to a coffee meeting with them, and Lanzera has literally told you every single button that they pushed on your profile. Did they select a data film? Did they change the crew size? Did they increase the production quality or decrease the production quality? Did they add deliverables? Whatever it is that they touched, we're giving you basically a report back and being like, this is exactly the pathway that they went down, who they are, where we started them with, and where they ended with, and you're just seeing that all as a printout. And you basically can go into that sales meeting and be like, hey, I know the exact right price to pitch you, and here's a scope of work for that price that fits your budget. Let's go ahead and close this deal and get started. I know more information about you now than any other filmmaker in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, it sounds like this is like your main motivation right now.
It's everything to me.
It's everything. That's awesome.
My girlfriend's really angry when I say that.
But totally.
But it's like it's
good.
For the last 2.5 years, this is the only thing that I've done professionally, and it's just, I love it. I love it more than anything. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. for this thing, and I'll go to bed at midnight for this thing. That's how much I love it.
That's awesome.
And it's just working the whole day, like no breaks, no time off. I always forget to. My girlfriend yells at me because I always forget to eat, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She texts me like, "Did you eat?"
Well, speaking of which, I want to take a quick second for a short segment, a new segment I like to call Just Johnny. This is a segment that I like to call Just Johnny, where I'm going to ask Johnny some questions about him and his motivational life, inspirational ideas, and let's see how much he can change your life. So, Johnny, my first question for you is, what's the number one most important thing that someone can do if they are not sure about how to get started in the morning?
So somebody just wakes up lost.
Yeah, they're not sure why they should go to bed.
Got you. So for me, I think it's like finding your why. What's your motivation? What is it that you really want to do? Because, you got to make money, right? But that's not the reason that you're born. You may want to change lives. You may be good with kids. You may want to take a political stance. You might have dreams. You might be an inventor. You may have things that you really, really want to do. And a lot of people, they stay away from what they really want to do because they don't think it's possible.
Because they're scared they'll fail.
Yeah, they don't think it's possible. And then it's this guy I look up to as a mentor to a degree as far as action. He said, what would you do? What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? Right? Because you got all the resources in the world. Like, there's nothing you can tell me that you really can't do besides like jumping over the moon.
Right.
Look at the age we're in right now. There's nothing you really can't do. If it's something simple like putting out a book or, film, whatever the case is, there's ways to get that done. But I think the most important thing in the first step is deciding what you really want to do.
Find your why.
Yeah, I don't care if you're scared. Like, we're not going to discuss that. The first thing is deciding what you really, 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 really want to do.
And
not the easy thing, not the thing that you can really get done. But what do you really want to do? Because that's what we're going to do.
And the best way to do that is to try as many things as you can.
Well, I say first decide what you really, really want to do. And I think that a roadmap, like we talk about plans, right? Where plans go? On paper. Not in your head, not reserved for elevator pitches and coffee shops and small talk, but plans go on paper. Outlines, they help you go from a strategic plan, strategic business plan, how much capital is required, but a time frame to get that stuff done. It's a real way that you can put together a way to go from a thought inception to index, actually getting that done. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm living that.
There you go. Well, you got proof right here, everybody. So, find your why. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Welcome back. We're here with Michael. And real quick, so we've been learning this episode about your company. Is that what your company called Lanzera?
Yep.
And so right now, you are in this productive mindset of getting everything done. And you're doing fantastic, obviously. And
we're doing good. We're doing. It'll be fantastic in probably a year. Give me a year. We'll have this conversation again. I'm like, yeah, life is good.
Okay, so what is it about the next 8 months to 12 months that's really going to put you ahead of everybody else?
We have a lot of really cool features that have been in the pipeline, but we haven't had the means to build them.
Okay.
Right. So like I self-funded Lanzera from the ground up.
That's incredible.
Literally 4 years of just like finding the right developers to build it, finding the right people to design it, finding the right people to do the user experience design, finding the right people in sales and the right people in marketing and the right people in customer service to really put a very strong foundation behind this. And it's only been recently where we've actually gotten the resources that we need to take it to the next level. And so, Lanzera's kind of been in stealth mode in beta for probably a year and 2 months now, where we're just very select group of filmmakers. We're with them. We're testing specific things, like not just like, is it functional and working, but meaning like, is this the business problem that you actually have, and are we solving that business problem? So testing a few things, and just getting their candid feedback of like, is this working or not working? And it's only been recently where we've actually started to take it out and make it more public.
Okay.
Reach out to certain filmmakers and be like, hey man, you literally fit our ideal filmmaker. You can take this, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Vimeo, put it on your Instagram, put it on your website, put it on anywhere that you have a digital presence. You can use it, and it's going to help drive traffic to you, and it's going to help drive leads to you, and you're going to be able to close those leads better and faster than anybody else in your market. And so it's only been, I would say, even in the last 2 months, 3 months, that we've started doing this push of like, all right, let's start growing, let's start getting it out there, let's start seeing people, let them know that we exist, get more of that feedback from them, iterate again, and keep building this thing forward. So yeah, I think the next 8 months, now that we've got those resources available to us, especially financially, so not only just like there's finance, right, but money only solves so much. You have bigger core problems to solve that you've got to solve as a business before money will actually help that solve those problems. Coming up in the next 8 months, not only will we be able to price, cost of film, cost of edit, cost of scouting, cost of preparation work, right, to, set your kit up the day before and whatnot, cost of consultation, cost of drones, cost of stabilization, cost of 4K, cost of expedited delivery and all that. But like in 8 months, we'll literally be able to not only calculate all that, but have algorithms that calculate all of your cost of travel, from getting to the airport, parking, flying from Washington, D.C. to Hawaii, your flight back, the amount of time that you're actually spending in Hawaii, all of that instantaneously priced out while the client is booking out. So they know not only like what will it cost to do the project in terms of like getting their deliverables, but like if they wanted to fly a filmmaker from Washington, D.C. to Hawaii because they're the best filmmaker for this particular project that they're trying to do, they're going to instantaneously see all the cost of travel for just that one person, as well as their entire associated crew and the number of people they want to bring with them and the number of people they want to source in that local city.
Wow.
So it's
that's
really
incredible.
Dynamic.
That's incredible, man. I cannot wait to see where you take this. And I'm hoping at some point in time, maybe if I'm professional enough, maybe I can hop on there and see what we can do together.
I'm pretty sure we can make that happen.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'll talk to Alex. She's the one who makes that determination.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll send
She's
my
nice.
application in.
So our corporate headquarters is in Breckenridge, Colorado. Because literally like 4 years ago, I was thinking to myself, and I was talking to him, I was like, hey, where do you guys want this thing headquartered? And we can do Los Angeles, Denver, Washington, D.C., and Austin. And they were all like, they come back like a week later, 2 weeks later, like, we're going to go to Breckenridge.
Oh, there you go.
You don't really have a choice because this is what we want. And so our headquarters is at like 10,600 feet. And,
wow.
They go skiing before work, and then they roll into the office at like 11 o'clock, and they work till 7, and then they go to happy hour. So
that's so wild.
Yeah, and I'm stuck here in D.C. Thanks, guys. I hate you. If it's a powder day, all bets are off. They're not in the office at all. They're skiing all day long.
Well, thank you for joining me, Michael.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed getting to know your company, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do together in the future.
Absolutely, man. Like, I love what you're doing too. Your style is amazing, and you've always had that like adventurous, I'm just gonna do it and do what people want to see. I love this. Like when I saw you back in Annapolis a few weeks ago when we reconnected, I love it. It was amazing.
Yeah, dude.
So thank you for the opportunity.
Of course, man. Thank you for joining me.
See you guys. Bye, y'all.
Bye. See you next time.
You're watching The Wink. Don't forget to subscribe.